Hey everybody, it's Conservative Nerd here. How's everybody doing here in this winter wonderland, at least where I'm at? I want to say something about SJWs. SJWs kind of remind me a lot of my racist grandma. Because, like, if we went out when I was little, with my grandparents, my racist grandma might say something like, there's a lot of colored people here. And we'd all be like, oh my god, grandma, you can't say that. Grandma, just. And SCW might say, wow, there's a lot of people of color here. And then they'd add, like, that's a great thing, because they're super pretentious. But here's the deal. You're the same as my racist grandma. You're both just sitting there looking at race. People of color and colored people is the same freaking thing. You just took an old racist term, reversed it, and ooh, we got a new term they like. Who said they like it? I don't know one person that's ever told me, yeah, I like being called a marginalized person of color. Could you just call me that? No one's ever said that to me. Wonder why? Because it sucks. Stop saying it. You're morons. You sound racist. That's why we hate you. You judge people by their actions, we don't have to lump everybody into stupid groups, man. I saw this stupid SJW chick. I'm gonna get to my comics discussion. This blew my mind. She was talking about some stupid feminist event, and she was saying how she wished more people of color would have showed up. If they don't want to go to your stupid event, they don't have to go to your stupid event. Just be happy with the fat white chicks that did show up and shut up. Nobody cares, okay? You're not the messiah. She was a white lady too, so it's like you're not the messiah of people, okay? People do what they want. You don't, this whole telling people how to act and stuff, when you see Gabby Rivera, the chick who writes American Chavez, always on Twitter, if you're Mexican and you voted for Trump, you know better than Whitey, and all that kind of tweets and stuff. It's like, dude, let them vote for who they want. Most of them Hispanics, people I met and know, they're more conservative than I am half the time. Like, there's a lot of conservative Hispanics in the world. I hate to shock you, but, this is, other than the illegals that vote, for liberals because they don't want to get deported, most Hispanics are pretty conservative. So you're a douchebag. So on to the topic of this video. Our comic book superheroes have they always been SJWs. I hear Mark Waid say it. I've heard Kwanzaa say it. Kwanzaa, yeah, he's a great writer. He's gonna go down in history, Kwanzaa and all the douches. Dan Slott's a fat douche that I was trying to think of, but yeah. So they always say that superheroes have always been SJW. So let's get into that, okay? Batman. Has he always been SJW? Well, let's see. Well, he beats up criminals. He's in the 1% because he's a billionaire, and he hangs out with the police. One of his best friends is Commissioner Gordon. Okay, I don't ever remember the issue where Batman's screaming at Gordon, "There's a black man in a holding cell, Gordon. Why?" No, he's not going crazy. He's Batman. He's a vigilante. If Batman was real, Antifa would despise Batman, okay? He beats up black people and Mexican people and white people and poor people because they're criminals. Who do you think are the criminals? So yeah, I would have to say that Batman is in no way, shape, or form an SJW. And okay, Superman. Superman doesn't interfere in humanity. That's one of the main things of Superman. He just fights for people. He helps the little man who can't help himself, but he doesn't interfere in humanity. He doesn't tell humanity how to think. He doesn't tell humanity what to do. He doesn't interfere in humanity. It's one of the biggest, mottos of Superman's life, and that's not an SJW. That's totally opposite of what SJWs believe. So guess what? Superman is not an SJW. Wonder Woman, we could get into some shaky ground with Wonder Woman, where I could see almost your argument where Wonder Woman. But let's get one thing straight by Wonder Woman. She was probably created by a cock and a woman. Okay, the guy was married. William Marston, who created Wonder Woman, was married to a woman who had a lover, a woman lover. So, knowing what we know now about the 30s, maybe his story of I banged two women wasn't true, and he was probably gay. Maybe not, but I don't know. That whole relationship and those three, it seems pretty weird to me. It seems like a whole, when you get into that, I'm not going to talk about it today, but it's weird. So, guess what? I'll give you Wonder Woman. No, there's one. Of the big three at DC, there, you get one out of the three. Because the other two, there's no way, shape, or form they're SJWs. Let's go to the big three at Marvel. I don't know what the big three at Marvel would be, but let's go with, we'll go with Fantastic Four, because that was first. We'll go with Spider-Man, because that's one of their biggest. And we'll go with Captain America. Okay? Boom. I just picked three. Fantastic Four. That's a family. They're a family. That's nothing to do with SJWs. They despise family. They despise white male families. And Reed and Sue had kids and got married, so no, they're not SJWs. That's right there, boom. Then you can't be an SJW. All right, so yeah, they wouldn't, they wouldn't have got married because they would have been like, oh, until trans people can fight in the army, then we're not getting married or something stupid like that. And yeah, Sue would have a weird lesbian relationship with some other chick, with Medusa or something. I don't know, but yeah, they're not SJWs. Spider-Man. Again, when you go back to the Batman, when he beats up criminals, okay? He stops some muggers. Yeah, sure, he fights a big villain. Sometimes it's a corporate guy or something, or like the Kingpin or somebody like that. But for the most part, Spider-Man saves people and he beats up muggers and beats up rapists and thieves. So, again, it's SJWs would never do that. They love criminals. They would let criminals like loot, because anything, and wouldn't say a word about it. So again, Spider-Man cannot be an SJW. See how this goes. Most of the time, they're beating up like any of the superheroes that are vigilantes. Let me tell you a story about a vigilante, because I'm old and I remember stuff. Bernard Getz was actually a famous vigilante. He's a guy that got robbed a lot. He's a real nerdy looking white guy with blonde hair and glasses. And he got robbed in New York on the subways a lot. So Bernard Getz just started shooting people on the subways. And Bernard Getz, ended up on trial. And I'm not sure. I have to look up the story, just kind of, but yeah, Bernard Getz was actually a famous vigilante, who killed I don't know if he ever went to prison. I think he lost his right to carry a gun, though, because he shot like 5 people. So, yeah, he got sick of being robbed and started shooting people. So that's a vigilante, and he wasn't left-wing, and he wasn't an SJW. He was a dude who was just sick of being robbed, okay? That's really it, He wasn't looking to help the poor, the marginalized people of this country, It's just so stupid. All right, so yeah, he wasn't a vigilante. Captain America. Okay, Captain America's written. Even when I was a kid in the 70s, when I read Captain America in the late 70s and early 80s, I always wondered, like, he's supposed to be this World War II vet, alright? Fought in World War II. My grandfather was a sniper in World War II. He was on the beach at Normandy when they stormed the beach, okay? He is the farthest thing from left wing that you would ever see. I mean, he's not alive anymore, but he was the farthest thing from left wing that you could ever see. There was no lefty in his body. None, okay? And I've talked to a few, like, uncles and other people that have been in World War II. They are not left wing. how is Cap so freaking left wing? I mean, if you could go back in time and you got somebody from the 40s, even if you got, let's say, you got the biggest lefty supreme, they'd still come back and not even be as far left as half these people, because these are like socialists and communists now. It's not even like I'm a Democrat. It's like I'm a socialist or a communist. My grandfather would cry, would probably be dead immediately if he saw the socialism and communism in this country right now. I mean, people used to be proud in the 40s and 50s of our country, so I really don't see how Cap would have been such a lefty. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and I never did. I always was like, and then when they did the Ultimates Cap, where I read an interview where Mark Miller was saying pretty much the same thing, like how has Cap always been such a lefty, you know? So he made Cap a little more of a John Glenn type of real American, not a lefty, you know? And I loved that, and I thought it made sense, and I thought that's probably the best Cap that's ever been done, because it's the truest Cap. Yeah. I've never read the original Caps, and I imagine that they can't be very lefty, because, it's, all, you're talking about 30s and 40s, so, But when they reimagined him in the 60s, in 68, I think that's when he came back, it was a lefty time, so yeah, I mean, but over the years, he seemed to always stay so far left, and I'm always like, if somebody was, he'd be an American, especially a flag waving dude like that. There's no way he'd be a lefty. Like, if Cap was a lefty, he wouldn't wear that suit. He'd be wearing black with a mascot, and he'd be out there with Antifa. So yeah, it's dumb. But no, I guess they tried to make him an SJW, but it's at the same point. He's not. If the original stuff, he fought in wars and fought Hitler. SJWs are weak little people that don't really do anything. It's not like they're out there, heroically saving people or doing anything. Look at this, the one that was killed in Charlottesville, that Heather Heyer. She wasn't even smart enough to get out of the way of a car. Is that bad taste? Who cares? I mean, nobody called Antifa and said, hey, would you come out and stop these Nazis? No. I mean, they got in the way, and one of them got killed, and her parents are suing the state and everybody else under the sun, and they'll probably get rich off of it because her daughter showed up voluntarily without a permit, unlike the Nazis. Now, I'm not supporting the Nazis because I think they're scumbags, but at least they had their permit. She didn't. She just showed up with her friends and thought they'd throw milkshakes at the stupid Nazis and beat on people's cars until somebody got mad and ran one of them over. I mean, use some common sense, man. Antifa's not here to do... Nobody, when somebody votes you in, or you get a job, or with the police or the military, then you can go fight Nazis. But until then, when you're just a regular dude, you can't fight anybody, because that's assault. So, Captain America is not a Nazi, or is not a SJW. I mean, it seems like they want to make him one. And, I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'll give you Captain America, even though there's no any way under the sun. If you look at Captain America, he would have been a Republican, fighting for America, probably working as a mercenary down in South. That's, somebody should do realistic Marvel stories, like, okay, Captain America, super soldier, ends up joining the government, I mean, they'd be paying him tons of money to go down and break up, assassinate people they wanted out and stuff. He'd be working for the CIA, probably. Who knows? The government's so shady. But yeah, when you get to the street level criminals, there's no way they're SJWs, or superheroes. There's no way they're SJWs. They can't be, because they're beating up criminals, beating up lowlifes that Antifa support, Black Lives Matter support. So how are they SJWs? How are you beating up the people that Black Lives Matter support? Sure, now they draw all low-life criminals as one color, and it's white in Marvel. You can flip through any freaking book they got, and you'll find it hard to find like somebody breaking into or robbing somebody that's not white in a Marvel book. Almost always they have. I noticed that in the Punisher, and Becky Clooner's Punisher, they always have blonde hair. So like they're scared to get black hair because if they get black hair, you might think they're Hispanic. They're like, oh no, 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 we never do that. Yeah, yeah. Like white people don't have dark hair. Yeah. No, we're all blonde. We're all blonde, and we're all Nazis. Yeah, morons. Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, it's hard to do Marvel's heroes because they've changed them so much. Like than what they used to be. Like in the '80s, man, dude, you didn't go, oh, he's a social justice warrior. This guy's a social justice warrior. You know, maybe like I said, you know, the Cap's been messed up, man. It's hard to find original Caps, even in reprints and stuff. So I've never seen any or read any. I'd like to though. I'm kind of curious as to how it's written, you know? If there's anything online, or I haven't seen anything. So if anybody knows anything about it, yeah, hit me up on the comments or something, or hit me up on Twitter. That'd be cool. But yeah, I don't know much. I've never read any of like the original Kirby. Siegel? Kirby? No, that's Superman, ain't it? I'm not sure who did the original. I know Kirby drew it. Simon. It's Joe. Yeah, Joe Simon. Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. I think it's Joe Simon. All right. So yeah, I've never read it. So I imagine he wasn't as liberal back then. He could, you know. I mean, it was. I know Jack Kirby was a liberal. I'm not saying, you know, but there's a difference between a liberal in the 30s and 40s and a liberal today. A liberal today is almost a socialist. So yeah. I'd like to read the original Caps. If anybody knows if there's a site or something, or anybody I doubt Marvel Unlimited has them. Those are all timely stuff. But yeah. But I think it's hit or miss with the heroes in the SJW. Like you can make arguments for some, but there's some you couldn't even come close to making an argument that they're SJW. It's like Batman or Iron Man. Or Superman, or Spider-Man. They're not. They're more Bernard Goetz. Especially Batman and Spider-Man would be way more Bernard Goetz than anything. Bernard Goetz was a Republican. So, you guys have a good day. I just kind of did a video about this because I see people talking about it all the time and saying it, and I think it's a stupid statement because SJWs really don't fight anybody or do anything. They just kind of get beat up and then sue. But you guys have a good day and enjoy the comics.